You think you know who you are. You have a name, a personality, beliefs, preferences, and memories. But Carl Jung's terrifying revelation is this: who you think you are is a fabrication, constructed not by you, but by your culture, your family, your trauma, and the roles you were forced to play. You live your life as a mask, and the more deeply you believe in that mask, the further you drift from the truth. Jung's work was not meant to comfort, it was meant to confront, and today we go to war with the illusion. When you become who you truly are, something changes. You no longer panic when others disapprove. You stop needing to be seen because you already see yourself. You feel power not from dominance, but from depth. You walk into a room and no longer wonder who you need to be. You have faced the terrifying truth that your old identity was a lie, and from that death, a new life begins. This is what Jung meant when he said, "You are not a slave to your unconscious unless you refuse to meet it." You don't need to invent a better version of yourself. You need to uncover the one that's been buried. You're not who you think you are. You are something far more dangerous, far more powerful, and far more real. Who you think you are is a story you were taught. Your identity was never chosen, it was inherited, imprinted on you by parents, schools, religion, media, long before you had the power to question. You learned what to say to be accepted, what to hide to feel safe, who to be in order to be loved. This conditioned self, this persona, becomes your reality. You smile when expected, you conform without realizing. You chase goals that aren't even yours. But underneath it all, something feels off. You achieve, but feel empty. You're praised, but you feel unseen. You exist, but you're not alive. Why? Because the identity you wear was never you. The real you lives in the dark. Carl Jung believed that we are mostly unconscious. In each of us, there is another whom we do not know. Beneath your thoughts and habits lies a stranger, the true self buried beneath the false one. This real you feels things you won't admit, desires things you're ashamed of, holds memories you've suppressed, knows truths your ego can't handle. It lives in the shadow, the place where you've exiled your pain, rage, creativity, and instinct. You say, "This is just who I am," but that's only the part you've made visible. The rest, your fire, your darkness, your soul, lives in hiding. And the longer you ignore that self, the more your life becomes mechanical, shallow, and haunted by unexplained suffering. The collapse of the illusion is where healing begins. Eventually, the mask cracks. It comes as a depression you can't explain, a breakdown that makes no sense, a sense of betrayal by life itself, but it's not destruction, it's revelation. This is the identity crisis, and it's not a problem. It's an awakening. The truth begins to surface, that the things you chased didn't fulfill you, that the people around you don't really know you, that the version of you in your head is a projection, not a person. And the most terrifying truth of all, you don't really know yourself. But this is not the end. It's the threshold. It is the moment the false self dies, and the real self begins to speak. Carl Jung believed the path to the real self was through a process called individuation. It is not self-improvement, it is self-discovery, a reuniting of the conscious mind with the unconscious soul. This journey requires facing your shadow without judgment, owning your contradictions, listening to your dreams and inner symbols, letting go of roles you never chose, rebuilding your identity from the inside out. This is a painful process. You will grieve the illusion. You will lose friends who only knew the mask. You will have to stand alone while you find your own truth. But what you gain is priceless. A self that is no longer dependent on applause. A soul that is no longer hidden beneath performance. A life that is lived from the center, not the surface. Most people die never having met themselves. Don't be one of them. The real you is not your job, your image, or your past. It is the part of you that whispers in silence, that weeps in the night, that dreams while you pretend to be awake. That voice, it's your soul, and it's been waiting for you. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Carl Jung. Now awaken and remember, you're not who you think you are who you're afraid to meet.